Hey, this is Warren. Welcome back to the home studio. In this video, I just wanted to show you a couple of things I'm doing with HX Native in conjunction with the Neural Amp Modeler NAM. So I'm using the HX as a virtual pedal board in front of NAM, which is my virtual amp. And the combination is quite interesting. I was using some of the drives in HX and using those to boost an amp in NAM. So you get, a nice relationship between the two, just as you would in the real world. Just put a pedal board in front of an amp, that sort of thing. I'm using the 2 Notes wall of sound for the cab sim, as is in the last video. If you haven't seen that, there's a link in the description below. So let's have a listen and see what this sounds like. So here we have the software called Gig Performer, and it is a VST host. So I'm hosting 3 plugins here: the Helix Native, the Neural Amp Modeler, and the Torpedo Wall of Sound. The Torpedo is doing the cab sim, the Neural Amp is doing the amp sim, and the Helix we're going to be using for the pedal. So let's open that up here. Now there's nothing loaded here. So before we start, this is what just the Neural and the 2 Notes sound like. Okay, so it's a bit crunchy on the neck pickup. If I go to the bridge humbucker, it's got a little bit more drive. And if I turn the volume down, it cleans up really nicely. So this is a good platform to try putting different pedals in on. So let's go to favorites. Now, usually for a drive sound, the one I like the most is this Maxon SD9. Here it's called the Hedgehog D9. So let's pull that up. Okay, if you bypass it, and on the bridge humbucker, so it's got plenty of saturation and it's still full, it doesn't really cut the lows too much. And if I want something a bit more twangy, then let's try the Timmy. Thing to keep in mind is on the Timmy, the tone controls work in reverse. So if you actually put it here, it gets darker. Can get really bright if you want, but that may be a bit too much. So around here. And if you look, all the pedals I use, they boost the level ever so slightly. You got to be careful not to clip, so just be careful you don't push that too far so it gets into the red in this meter or on the Neural Amp input meter. Let's try the Chandler tube driver. Let's try the clone. So all of them have their own EQ curve, which does change the character of the distortion. Let's try this KWB, which is a nice boost. Let's try the Rat. I like this one a lot. It's really nice and grindy. Let's try this Fuzz. I found another nice one, this Vital Boost. Let's see what it sounds like without. Pretty subtle, but I like how it feels under the fingers. Now, another thing you can do is you can also use compressors as boosts. So I'll just go through a few. This one's really nice because it lets you set thresholds and gains for lows, mids, and highs. So I've compressed the highs a bit, the mids not so much, and the lows a little bit more. So when you go to the high strings, if you see, there's not so much of the low compression happening, but if you play here, you'll hear more of it there. So it kind of keeps your your levels even across the entire fretboard range from your low notes to the high notes. So quite a useful thing to try. This is the deluxe compressor. I like this more on the single coils. There's a Rochester compressor. Pretty transparent sounding. You can hear some of the compression. And there's a very handy level meter here as well. You can also use an EQ as a boost. So you have added a bit of level just so you get a volume boost. Cut the lows a bit, bumped up the mids around 750 and dropped the highs ever so slightly. So if I bypass it, you can hear it especially like in the middle of the fretboard. You get a bit of that nasal honk happening. Now I'm going to try a few modulation pedals. So the one I use the most is this Univibe. You can drop the intensity so it's really subtle. Or you can crank it up, you know. I like it somewhere in this range because it gives the notes a nice vocal sound. This phase 90 is really nice. This plastic chorus is pretty cool. Almost like a Leslie. And this flange as well. I also like this mutant filter. It does change the response if you put it before the distortion. It's like much warmer sounding. Let's turn the max on off. I mean, you kind of have to learn how to pick so you trigger the, the wow. Let's go to a cleaner amp sound. So I'll just pull up, let's try this blown basement. That's nice. So without anything. It's a much more cleaner sound compared to the Dirty Shirley. So let's try this compulsive drive. That's pretty cool. It's a full tone OCD. Go back to the amp again. Maybe back off the tone a little bit. And this Dhyana drive, I think, is a Hermida Zen drive. Let's try the Timmy again. Another nice one is this poly pitch, which gives you a 12-string guitar sound. You can control the mix if you want it a bit more subtle. I hope you enjoyed these sounds. I'd love to know what you think. Leave me a comment. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.